Let's talk about Dark Hole. Is Muji City the only city that's getting affected by this dark smoke? Is it an alien? Is it an extraterrestrial being? Is it a government conspiracy? Is it something religious? Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
So after episode 8, we finally get the culmination for Lee Siyeon. She's finally dead. The detective, I don't know, like she was going to kill her, but something deep down inside, well, we know what was deep down inside that prevented her from truly changing.
So something is obviously happening in Muji City, and only Muji City, because we don't have any footage or any kind of, we don't catch up with the whole rest of the world or the rest of Korea.
We don't know that yet.
It's just Muji City, and there's the sinkhole that, you know, is the progenitor of everything that's happening in this series. And we're starting to think or theorize and kind of craft ideas as to what exactly is going on. My mind is set on a government experiment or a conspiracy. There was some sort of genetic experimentation that they were doing with someone, and it resulted in a mutant. It had results that were undesirable, and so they buried it in the ground of Muji City, and that caused the sinkhole. And as soon as the sinkhole collapsed, or as soon as that place collapsed, it let all of that bad juju out.
Wow, that's actually pretty good. That's really, really cool to think about. You know, it was a failed experiment, and they wanted to get rid of it, and, you know, bury it underneath in the whatever. That sinkhole comes up,
Yes.
and then all of these things, the black smoke started affecting people, and then we thought they were zombies, but they're like more like mutants. I mean,
They call them mutants.
they call them mutants. They're not eating people; they're just killing people.
Yes.
So they're not technically zombies.
They're
although-
rage monsters.
Yeah, they're whatever they're called. But what's really intriguing to me is that if it is a government conspiracy, then what is going on with the detective Hwasun and, you know, there's like chosen ones in this show, right?
Yeah.
There's like chosen ones who don't fully transform into mutants, but they have some sort of supernatural power or like superhuman strength that comes along with it, which could be in turn part of this government experiment to turn super soldiers or something like that.
I think it's less divine, less supernatural, and it comes down to the science. Because if everyone is mutating and this dark smoke is affecting them in terms of their fears or their innermost desires, and it's causing them to go full out rage monster, then I think that with Hwasun and the shaman, I think that just like any other contagion, there will be people who have high tolerances or resistances or immunities to this contagion. So that's what I think is happening. I think there's a government experiment inside that hole. The dark smoke arises from it, and the people who can resist it, or the people who can, you know, at least control themselves out of it, like Hwasun and the shaman, is resistant or immune to it. Now, the stuff that we're seeing in their minds, like her husband or the shaman's, you know, past with the goddess or god or the deity that she was worshiping.
Yep.
It's all just in their minds. It's how they visualize the effects of this contagion in their bodies.
That's actually really, really interesting. I would like to lean a little bit more to something supernatural or like something a little bit more divine, because that's what I latch onto. Like I remember The Wailing, and that was very religious, and that had some connotations of the Bible, the devil, and God and all of that stuff. But like there's a lot of layers into this story that leads me to believe something like that, because people like Dong Rim is like just the way she describes that people suck. You know, I'm not scared of the monsters, I'm scared of people because they're scarier, that type of stuff. And there are all these like interventions or like divine interventions of just punishing the worst people. Like, I don't know about Muji City. It's like, it just has the worst people. The doctor is experimenting on like sick patients. I don't know about the teacher, because there's some kind of relationship between him and Dong Rim. Like, as you pointed out while we were watching this, like she kind of like has this hesitation to get close to him or allow him to touch her.
It's weird.
And then there's also like the people that have committed atrocities in, you know, like sins and murders.
Everyone's
like
just a shitty
everyone
person.
is just shitty, but like it almost feels like there's like this divine like sword that's just like coming down on these people and punishing them. And there are some people who are just hasn't gone through it yet, or people like the detective, or people like maybe the shaman, I don't know, like the detective, right? Like she could go down that hole, she could become a murderer, or she could kill, but like she prevents herself from doing it because there's like angels on her shoulders, like for like, you know, trying to stop her from doing it. And so like I hope it's something a little bit more like that, because the government conspiracy thing is also a trope that we're used to. But so is like, but is the religious thing?
Is the
that's also a
thing.
supernatural.
The only thing that I latch onto when countering the divine theory is that the doctor, she had the dark smoke vialed, and she was running tests with it on patients. And I don't know if it was divine or supernatural. I don't think you would be able to.
Well, what about alien? What if it's alien?
It
There's
could be
tentacles.
It could be
the tentacles
alien.
are going all over the place.
But that goes back to the mutant. You know, it's like it could be a genetically mutated experiment with tentacles and everything.
You know, I bet you the religious aspect of this show is just kind of like just a misdirect. Like the shaman is there, like just to do her thing, like shaking the bells and like chanting and all of this
course.
sutra is happening, all that stuff.
She's taking advantage of their.
But I bet you
faith.
it's just like a mutated octopus that they experimented on that's just gone awry, and now it's just terrorizing the city.
And this happens all the time in post-apocalyptic or end-of-days types of movies or shows, where there are people who will develop a cult following and take advantage of people's faiths.
It's also the weak-willed and weak-minded people that get taken advantage of first.
Yeah. Small little shout out to Oijin, who plays Dongrim. The deepest sympathies, you know, first it was True Beauty being bullied there, and now she's being bullied in Muji City.
That's just her typecast.
I guess so. And couple that with, you know, being haunted by Rage Monster.
You know what I really love about this right now is that the detective Hassan and Yuteon, their ability to fight back, especially the detective, because she has a little bit more extra human strength.
Yeah.
Like her moves and like some of the action sequences that I've seen her pull off is just like, well, I mean, I know that's like a stunt double also, but like it's just so fascinating because I'm really rooting for her.
Another thing that is perturbing me in terms of this government experiment theory is that the detective Hassan is also, you know, connecting with the vision of these
sees
mutants.
through
She's
mutants,
seeing
yeah.
through their eyes. Is this contagion? If it is a contagion, you know, connecting people who can control it or resist it.
You know, I bet you it has something to do with that, with an experiment to create super soldiers, for them to be able to like connect with each other while, you know, they're attacking or they're like in unison to fight back or something like that. So that's what I'm thinking about when I see that and I think about that. Like it's almost like I'm already like going back on my word about this being supernatural or divine.
But you know what? That's what we're thinking about right now. It's government conspiracy, government experimentation,
Seems more
divine,
likely, yeah.
supernatural, or alien. But of course, leave it in the comment section down below what you think is happening in Darkhold. And if there is a source material for this and you read it, don't be like that. Don't reveal anything. But that'll do it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed our theory, please leave a like and subscribe for more videos. Hit the bell notification and all that good stuff. And we'll see you next time.